Hey, how's it going? So here are my mistakes in business. My first mistake is being friends and too nice with customers. Now, I made friends with some of my customers, so I became too nice to most of them. So this meant that I would be socializing, drinking, and laughing with them. So what happened was, I allowed myself to become vulnerable to them by opening up my personal life, like my ups and downs, hopes and dreams, the problems in this business, and so on. So they became too comfortable with me and started asking me too many requests and favors. So eventually, we came to a disagreement and they stopped buying from me. After everything I did for them, I was the loser here because these customers received more benefits from me. I had no customers when I first started this business. So I did whatever I could to attract and impress new customers. And that led to my mistake, always saying yes. And so customers thought that they could get everything. Like they thought they could receive more benefits because I was accepting a lot of requests that most suppliers won't do. So I would always try to give whatever they wanted. And that's a mistake because I hadn't set any boundaries between me and the customer. I always strive for better service. And I learned that you can never give better service when you always say yes. And that is my next mistake, not saying no. Then my next mistake is not protecting my assets or not protecting myself. I trusted too much because it's just so hard to resist customers, especially when there's so much competition. In this industry, you really have to take care of customers. But while I was protecting my customers, I wasn't protecting myself. So in the end, I got customers who didn't pay up and was able to get away with it. And believe me, I lost a lot of money because of that. And my next mistake is giving too much. Now, most of the time, customers aren't really asking too much. I have the tendency to give more, like faster delivery, reserving supplies, and so on. But in the end, it was never appreciated. Some customers weren't asking too much, so there was really no need for me to go the extra mile. Then, my other mistake is panic decision. I somehow panicked when I first heard that my arrival offered a pay later service. So, without further thought, I also responded by offering a pay later service. Now, this was a mistake because the consequences of a pay later service is just brutal, and I lost a lot of money there. A pay later service is when you bring in your customer's order and they pay on a later day. And that was a huge mistake because of panic decisions. And last but not the least is not saving and preparing. Now, there were a few times when people suddenly started buying from me because all other suppliers were out of stock. So when I ran out of supplies and tried to resupply, my supplier or my primary supplier was also out of stock. So everyone was out of stock for a couple of days. When my supplier got the supplies, I was totally shocked by the huge price increase. So while I've been selling my remaining stocks for less, all other suppliers were preparing and stocking up for the huge price increase. So I couldn't recover from the losses because I couldn't repurchase my original stocks since, well, the price increased and there wasn't enough money to resupply. I know this was never my fault because my supplier never informed me, but if you're running a business, it's very important that you request and ask for news and updates from your supplier, because if you aren't updated, then it could cost you a lot, believe me. I wasn't updated about the price increase, so I didn't prepare and stock up during those times. So yeah, these are pretty much my mistakes. There's a lot of more mistakes I made, but these are my biggest mistakes that I made. There are a few more that I didn't mention, but perhaps that's another time. So, do you also have a business? And what are your mistakes? Or what are your mistakes at work? I love to hear that. So just comment below. So if you do like this video, then please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Until then, I'll see you.